All right, welcome to BLT Living. How are you, Christy?
Good. How are you living your best life today?
I'm starting the episode with laughter, so I got to tell you, it's definitely starting off on the right foot. But I'm so excited today. I have got something today. It may be the most best thing that I've cooked so far on the show. I'm
Oh, I
gonna say
can't wait.
that.
I'm so
Yeah, I'm gonna
excited.
say
What's
that.
it called?
Yeah. It's called Russian vinaigrette. I'm gonna move over here, so it looks a little
Excellent.
slightly, but it's called a Russian vinaigrette salad. And the
Oh,
reason that
okay.
I love it is because it uses this bad boy, right?
Beautiful.
Beets.
Beautiful.
And come from the Eastern Europe part of the world where beets are a big deal.
Yes.
And beets, the way that there's just two types of ways that I put beets in my body, and that is through salads, and that
Hmm.
is through soup. And
Yes.
today, Christy, what is our topic for today? What is the topic
Today's
for today?
topic is flow, the way of water. And we'll
Well,
be talking.
this, yep.
It's
No, go
beautiful.
ahead,
No,
go ahead.
we're going to introduce the philosophy of water today, and you'll share a little bit more in detail what that entails.
Yeah, and we're gonna bring it back full circle towards beets because the thing about the salad is that it's real
Mm.
simple. I mean, it's really simple. I'm going to start right now and show you. We just take a bowl, right? And we
Excellent.
start off, just take an onion, dice an onion, take some pickles, dice some pickles. We'll remind me to talk about pickles at the end because it's probably the most controversial thing in my life, the pickle
Okay.
conspiracy theories. And so we take these beautiful colors right here, right? We're
Mm.
just gonna put them in this bowl right here. But you can see
Okay.
this over here. Okay,
So you
so we're just
just
gonna put
chop
them in.
it. How
I
many?
chop.
Is it like a large onion and maybe like half a jar of pickles, or do
It's
you?
a great question. It's a great question.
Okay.
Here's the thing we're doing. We're doing a lot of chopping and cutting up, so you just want to have pieces need to be uniform. But I took a
Right.
medium onion and
Okay.
about six, seven little pickles. The problem with pickles comes in all size varieties. Onions come in all
Right.
size varieties. Here's the game plan. We're going for like just an equal ratio. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So
So, right.
um, the, the
One to
most
one.
important 1 to 1, 1 to 1. So we're gonna go with pickles. But the reason I was saying this is gonna interject with the flow of water was just because we've been gone vegan for 3 weeks, you
Right.
know,
And
and
how's that
it's what magical to such an extent. We're gonna go vegan Monday to Wednesday,
go? Okay.
and not be and like oh, is there a reason? Sure, there's like 30 reasons, right? You can pick one, whatever, but I want all the benefits, but also vegetables are amazing. They're delicious, and I never made this salad during this whole
Okay.
time because my mother was making this when I was growing up, and she learned
Right.
this from a chef, a Moldovan chef, one of the best ones. When I get this gentleman on the show, woo, it'll be over. But I, it,
Right.
you know, but it, and I'm trying to grill eggplant, and I'm trying to find out how to make souffles, like literally like Googling stuff. And then I realized, wait a minute, let's go with the path of least resistance. Let
Right.
us flow like water down the mountain path. And it's incredible because I'm at the end of this 3 week vegan thing, and I've only figured out that I can make this now. Because sometimes, you're trying to problem solve and you're trying to figure out the solutions and you're trying to figure out what the next steps are, and you just gotta take a breath,
Yeah.
slow down, be
Slow down.
present, and just open up your eyes because water flows down. Flow is a concept that is like a big deal in my. I remember growing up and like it was coined by a guy named Stephen Kotler. Thank you. I'm very happy to remember that name. And he's like, it's like personal development, but you watch the video and he's talking about flow and he's the Flow Institute, but it's literally the same thing that all the gurus or the personal development people. It's getting into that flow state, getting that place in business, in life, in love, in everything where things just come natural to us. And you shared with me this incredible link, and I know you got a couple of links to share with us while I peel
Yeah.
some of these boiled potatoes. That's all I'm going to be doing right now. Well,
Yes.
Christy, I think I'd love to see some of these links because one of them, well, I'll talk about the three principles of the water, but I would love to see some of these links that you share with me because they're quite on point and quite relevant to what we're talking about today.
Yes. Okay. So I will, let me just, if you want, I can share. I don't know if I can share my screen,
Oh, maybe you
but
can.
I'm not sure if I can or not, but we can. Let me just move this over here.
The little
Basically,
share button at the bottom, maybe it'll work.
okay, yeah, that'll work. I just accidentally moved this. So let me move this back up here, and I can put it into. Um, This is one wonderful, wonderful website that I found. Hold on. Let me see. Can you see this? Share my screen. Oh, here we go. Not a presentation. Okay. It doesn't want to look. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me share it.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see mine. Um, for some reason, it's
Can't.
not wanting to share. You might have
It's
to
not
share it on
wanting
your
to
end.
share.
It's not wanting to share. Oh my goodness. It's the, let me see if it will share again. I'll try. Let's see. Presentation. Nope. There we go. Share. Okay. Maybe it's going there.
Okay, let's
That's
take
it.
a look.
It's shared. Yay. Can you see it?
Oh, it's sharing. Okay,
Yay. Okay. So
we're a new
a
platform, folks, so adjustments are
yes,
made.
we're learning. Thank you for being patient with us. This is a wonderful website that I discovered last week when I was doing a little bit of research. And there's a wonderful lady named, um, she's right here about us. She's on the team. I don't know if you guys can see this. So the team, her name is Leslie Roberts, and she's the founder and coach. And one day, Jerry, you and I need to try to reach out to her and meet her because she just looks like, sounds like, from what I've read on her website, she sounds like an incredible person. And this is down
Look at
here.
that smile. I can just feel her
I
energy
know,
right there. No, 100%. Yeah.
amazing, right? And she's the founder and coach of this coachingoutdoors.com, right? And
Okay.
she has the MCC Global Individual Accreditation. Okay, she's a senior practitioner. So she works as a business coach and adventurer. But what really grabbed me was here, this last um, the last paragraph, she says, Leslie set up Coaching Outdoors because she firmly believes that being outdoors in nature brings powerful development and well being benefits to coaches, clients, and businesses.
Mm,
Then there's the higher purpose. Once we engage with nature and develop a relationship with the planet, it can catalyze a desire to protect it. Right. And so I'm going to share another. What she did was she had this wonderful article that was on her website or is on her website. I'm going to share it right now. Let me pop it in here. It's called The Philosophy of Water. And
mm.
pronounce it from the Tao Te Ching. Am I saying that correctly? I don't know if I'm
Dao
saying,
Ching. My girlfriend's
Tao.
Chinese, so she's pronounced it perfectly, and
Okay.
I pronounce it half decently. You pronounce it half decently. The people know what we're talking about.
Right. Okay. But basically, read a little bit here. It's the philosophy of water. And I love this. She says here that life can be fast paced, and before we know it, anything we needed to sort out wasn't sorted because the day ran out. And that
Mm,
happens to all of us, right? And that we get so busy in our days. But the three teachings, the wonderful lessons that we can learn from the philosophy of water, you talked about it so beautifully earlier, and that the water flows down from the mountain, right? You can see in this
mm,
beautiful photo here that you have little boulders and rocks and grass and dirt, and the stream is just, the water is just flowing down beautifully. But what is happening? What are we seeing? That it's flowing down naturally, right? And it's falling into the spaces and crevices that um, you know it just is falling through naturally where it's meant to go, and it's not being forced because, right, you have the angle of the slope of the mountain, you have
mm,
gravity taking you down, right? And those influences, of just nature, and nature just flowing. And this is sort of what I would think is a sort of second episode of last week's episode of letting go, right? And so in the Tao Te Ching, it teaches us how we should learn and live like the philosophy of water, which is what she shares on her website. And these are the three main teachings that we can focus on and learn from. The first is humility, and from the
yes.
Tao Te Ching, it says it teaches us the ability to learn and transform by listening to others who would provide a new solution you wouldn't have thought about before. Second is harmony. Water
Hmm.
flowing towards the rock doesn't get upset or annoyed by the obstacle, but instead it just flows around it. Water finds a solution to a problem without force or conflict and teaches us to work in harmony with our environment instead of against it. And
Yeah.
last is openness. This is the third teaching. Despite ever changing environments, water is open to change. It is adaptable. Instead of putting up a fight against change, be open minded to it. So I'm going to close these out and just, I'll share this on our Instagram and Facebook pages so that you can go back to this if you'd like to read more about it. I also have it here in the chat box. Jerry, can you see this in the chat box here? The
You know,
links, if
you
anyone
know what? I
wants to.
don't. It may
No, okay.
not be. I don't. I think that's
That's
just between me. Yeah, we'll have it on Instagram and we'll have it in the notes of the description.
yes, we will share this on the Instagram in my next post. And so I just feel like, when I saw that the work that she's doing and, being in nature, I live out here by the beach.
Oh, your
And
backyard, yeah, and you have the
yeah,
beach and you have the forest. Virginia really does
yes,
it right.
it's just really beautiful here. And we have mountains, we have the ocean, we have rivers, lakes, and streams. And, I always try to, if I can't get outside, a little bit every day, because I feel that being in nature is very healing. And Leslie
Mm.
Roberts mentions that on her website, just to be in nature, try to make the time and learn from lessons in nature, right? I think, Jerry, you and I talked about that. John and I have this crazy garden back here. We call it our little plantation, and he always is so great and is working so hard. I should post a picture of our windowsill. We finally, after all these years of trying to have a tomato garden, it's finally working. And Aiden, one of
Oh,
my
okay.
daughters, she has now moved in with my mom to help my
Hmm.
mom out. She left behind a couple of fish tanks, like aquariums, right? One was a terrarium for her hermit crab. She's had
Okay.
several. And Carl and I don't know, they were named all different things. We always had to have a funeral every time they passed away. It was kind of sad. And so
Oh.
and then we've had some fish, but we have two aquariums, and John cleaned them out. And we have this one table that it's metal and it has holes in it. So he's really smart, and he cleaned out the fish tanks, aquariums, and flipped them upside down because we were having problems with rodents, squirrels and possum and everybody else, raccoons wanting to eat our tomatoes. So we've been pulling them when they're really big, like this big, and he's putting them under on the table so it has the air flow because the table has the holes in it with the metal. Then he
Hmm.
flipped over the aquariums, the glass tops, so it's kind of like a greenhouse. And he's created his own little greenhouse, and it's all of the tomatoes are turning beautifully red. So they're going from green to red, and so it's been fun to see that. And now I think next week I normally like to surprise you all with my kitchen when I'm in the kitchen hot seat for my food accountability challenge, but
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge myself and try to come up with a really great cold gazpacho salad or
Oh,
soup, cold soup next week
wow.
because
Wow.
I love gazpacho and I've had my favorite ones from Wright Cafe at Wright Square in Savannah, Georgia. And we love the owners down there. We love their little cafe. So shout out to Wright Cafe at Wright
Shout out to
Square
Right
in
Cafe.
Yes, shout out. And we love them. We love
And
your
this is a
food.
cold
We love
soup?
your gazpacho, right? It's a cold soup, right?
Man,
And
that's
I
so
think its
interesting. It's a cold
origins are
soup.
from Spain. And so I'll try to see if I can find a little bit of history from the gazpacho. You
So
know me, I love history. I teach history, so I'll try to find a little bit of history on the origins of gazpacho.
I
So,
am so excited because it's a there's certain things about like I'm Canadian and when I hear gazpacho or like when you have clam chowder or like what else is there in America, but it's like those soups are like I'm like what is that even, what do you mean cold soup, that's so strange to me. So I am beyond excited because in our country, from my place of the world, we have the soup that we make. We have this thing in our part of the world called kvass. It's strange, Christy. It's essentially bread that you make into a drink, you know?
ooh,
And it always tastes like beer to me, but it doesn't have any alcohol in it. I guess there's
okay.
just like fermentation. But you take a soup and you put like herbs, you put like the parsley and the dill, and then you just put like you take like a bunch of like deli and you put like kvass over it. Anyway, I'm curious to see about your cold dish. When I come,
Yeah,
I've realized something about my family growing up. My soup game is untouchable. I haven't still brought out borscht, right?
I
The
know.
main,
I
I that
want to learn.
that's where we're gonna make this video where it's gonna get all, because I've been watching some borscht videos and I'm like, the people need to know how to make a borscht. I don't even understand what I'm watching right now. Like, no, this
Right.
is it's an art to cutting the cabbage, all this stuff. But I just want to show you guys this little beautiful beet. It's beautiful,
Oh, that
purple,
is so
gorgeous.
beautiful. So
You
did you
boil it,
tell us
yeah.
about it? You boil it and then you peel it, or do you peel it first and then boil it?
So let me bring it to water and flow. You know,
Right.
I had did not realize because I literally called my sister and I'm like, am I? This can't be this simple. So you boil potatoes, beets, and the carrots. Okay, so
Okay.
you can
Wow.
prep it. You can do it earlier, right? You can cut the onion, the pickles. So if you're having a dinner party,
Yeah.
when I came to this
Right.
country, I heard all this potato salad stuff. I don't know what these people are doing with the mayo and the potatoes, but it's a
Right.
crime against humanity. I don't understand. Do you want a potato salad? I'll give you a potato salad. Like this is a potatoes, carrots in there. But to me,
Okay.
you know, like a potato. So it's just really a potato salad with it's a
Right.
beet potato salad if you want to
Okay.
westernise it in a way, right?
Right.
But this, so I boiled this for about 30 to 45 minutes. I called my
Okay.
sister and I said, okay, so what's the protocol, right? So I literally sent her a picture of the potatoes and the beets and the ratios, and I'm
Right.
like, I'm a perfectionist, so when I cook, I need to know like
Right.
4 potatoes, 5 potatoes, 6 potatoes. Well, my mom is just like, or my sister are like, let's just drop
Throw
it
it
and
in
see what
there. Right.
happens, you know.
That's
So
how I cook. Throw it in there.
right. So I found out my carrots were not. I didn't put enough water, so so it was. Look, it's a boiling technique. Today's secret ingredient is boiling.
Okay. Secret. I'm
It's
writing this
funny
down.
enough. It is because boiled food is kind of when you think about it. It's, well, I don't want to say the word gross, but fried is so much more bad. It just sounds so much more
Right. Everything is
loving.
better.
Right. So
Everything is
this is what I'm realizing right now is this is taking a lot of work. Just peeling these on its own, which is actually pretty fun. This peels incredibly well. The peeling a
okay.
potato is a nightmare, but just cutting this beet right there. Oh, it's such a nice cut,
Like
Christy.
ASMR, right? Am I saying that right? ASMR.
ASMR. Yeah,
You know,
that's a big.
right? Something like when you're eating, it's just the same when you're cutting something. That's great.
Yeah, and I want to kind of get this back to flow because I'm cooking and sometimes cooking is a source of stress. Like, you're cooking for your whole family,
Yes.
Christy, right? Like we live in downtown Toronto, so we can actually go to the grocery store right beside each other, right? Right beside the
So
homeless person I live in downtown Toronto. Anyway, that's another story for that. And it's amazing to see that you can have something so simple, so delicious, but sometimes, in life, in cooking, in business, we
right,
don't see the path of least resistance. We don't
right,
see, we sort of, oh, let me spend my time doing on this because I like to do it just this way. And it's like, it's like, wait a minute, like go outside the rock, just like the water, right? Like you have resources, you have people, you can delegate. And
right,
if you're stressing out, I'm finding myself being stressed over business in ways where I'm like, I like doing these tasks and I'm still stressed. And it's like, wait a minute, what is the path of least resistance? Because it's not you that benefits from that. Everybody around you benefits about that because
right,
it's, they see you as leading the example and it's doing
right,
more by doing less. I mean,
right,
it's just like if you want to have evidence that magic exists, you can achieve more by doing less. And that is a wonderful Eastern concept that
right,
I kind of feel the West is absorbing in one way or another right
right.
now. But what a philosophy, what a concept, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm writing all this down, and I'll share all these ideas, and just your experience and expertise, and wisdom. Thank you for sharing that, because I love that. I What jumped out at me just now was excuse me, lead by example,
Mm,
because I know that, in my work, I also, I'm in recruiting. I'm also an advisor. I also teach, right? So,
yes.
you know, I'm very, very blessed in that I feel like you know, what would I want to share? Do I want to be a grumpy person? Right? And, maybe ruin somebody's day because they're being forced to attend my class, or,
Mm,
uh, forced to meet with me. What do I want to do? I want to. I always want to, and I love that, lead by example, because I just
hmm
wrote that down in my notes from you, because I really would hope that somebody, might come back and say, you know what, you made my time really, you either inspired me, or you made my time very special there, or you made me feel welcome, right? And
hmm
how it comes back to when we talk about accountability groups and masterminds. What is
Hmm.
it? Bringing two or more people together, two or more minds together in the spirit
To
of,
achieve a
you know,
goal in the spirit of harmony.
full
Absolutely.
spirit of
Yes.
harmony and with support and positivity, right? And
Hmm.
that, I feel like that can, translate into every area of our lives, not just in an accountability group, but in the people that we meet every single day, right? The people that we come across with. Do you want to lead by an example of somebody that can be a role model, somebody that can share things with kindness, somebody that can be supportive, somebody that can be compassionate, right?
Hmm.
Maybe
Hmm.
somebody's having a bad day. You don't know what their
You don't
day's
know.
looking. You don't know
Yeah.
what they just went through. You don't know if they're having a family issue, or, one of their kids is having a family issue, or, a parent is needing, assistance because they're aging. I mean, everybody brings to the table a different story, right? And if we can be open and we can just flow and flow, not only in our
Mm,
own lives, but flow with others as well, right? We try to do that in our accountability and mastermind groups, right, Jerry, when we meet.
absolutely.
And so I think if we can just carry that over, that idea of flowing and flowing even with people, not with just situations and projects, obviously that helps when we don't try to take, so much control over something, because oftentimes other people, right, can bring so much to the table. Other people in your team
So much.
support your team. I find from my own team, because I have incredible supervisors and deans and directors that, when I feel supported, which I'm very fortunate, I'm in a position where I have such an incredible team of and school that I work with, and so I always feel supported, and I always can go to somebody if I, have a question and maybe don't have an answer, for a student, for example. I always know where to go, and I know that I'm going to
Mm,
be supported, and that person's, kind, and they're taking time out of their day to help. And I feel like, if we can live by example, lead by example, live by example, that, and allow things to flow, share kindness, share support, share resources, help each other, right? That, what is that saying? Pay it forward, right?
mm.
When you when you help somebody else, I feel like they're going to help somebody else, and they're going to help somebody else. And it's that, ripple in the pond. You throw that
That
pebble
reciprocity.
into the pond, and it just keeps rippling, and it just keeps going, and exponentially gets great, becomes greater and larger. So if you put, what do you want to, you can choose, right? Make a choice. You can choose to put out good or choose to put out bad, right? And
And that's can I piggyback off that because
jump in.
here's the thing, right? It's scary how simple it is. You wake up in the morning, you're like, I'm gonna have a good day today. I am gonna have an incredible day today, and this is what's gonna happen. Try that out and see if it
Right,
doesn't work as soon as you wake up, right? And it's
right,
like, there was when we first started talking. I remember I wanted to share with you a resource, and it was a resource that was shared with me, and it was very powerful. And it was that chart of hierarchies that maybe you could share that link about power versus force. And
okay,
it was kind of all these, like sometimes, you just don't have a good day. Like
right,
sometimes you can't be a glass of milk to everybody. Sometimes you can't just be a ray of sunshine. But
right,
here's the thing though, right? Like I'm almost made it my, I don't know, but it's like the point of life is to just be is every second, every moment, especially when I get real spiritual and read a little bit of scripture, I get into God. It's like I'm like I see God everywhere. I
right,
see I see myself in everybody. So it's
right,
like it's positivity, yes, but it's also bliss. So it's a
right,
word I want to throw in here real quick. It's like you have access to just being happy just by thinking it. You have access to bliss. You have access to these things, but it's also like it's if you don't do that, then you're not flowing. You're resisting. You're attracting things that are bothering you. And like water flows naturally, and like something comes into your life, and it's like it can go through you and past you. But some people, it affects them, and they keep it, and and they're like, I'm not gonna It's gonna be. And it's like all, and that's that even when you look at water and like chakras and like flowing down, just let it flow, baby, let it go down, let it go smooth, let it, just.
oh,
But it's
ex-
like, but then there's like, okay, oh, there's money. oh, that's the relationships. And then
Uh-huh.
my partner said this and this employee. And it's like, so it's like, but it's a constant practice of being like, no, I'm gonna go from power. I'm not gonna force it. I'm gonna be my very best version of myself. And yeah, I'm feeling kind of bad, or I'm not really flowy today, or something happened in the morning, or whatever it is. But it's like, you know what? Like every moment is a new one, right? And there's always opportunity to just have that inflection, change it. And that's what's so cool about water and flow, is that it's just there's only one path, you
Right.
know? There's only one path, and it's like the path of least resistance. But it's also like, what's the work? Am I gonna work from a place of I have to do this work, from a place of I get to do this work? Am I going to come
Right.
from a place of I'm coming from a place of inspiration or not? Am I going to come from a place of like, you know, when you realize work is joy, you get flow, you
Yes.
know? And I
Right.
mean, we could talk about this for days, but I just want to show
I
you
know.
this beautiful purple. Look at this.
Let's show
Oh,
it. Whoa.
I have
That's
to tell you, yeah, cutting bold beets is so much fun.
yeah.
Very
I
nice texture.
right. And another, you're gonna have pink fingers all weekend.
Am I
Probably.
really? You think so? Oh, my,
Maybe.
my.
I don't know. I'll see if I can find a way to get rid of that.
You know
But
what? I heard borax is pretty good, but sorry, go on.
no, that's okay. Maybe, yeah, maybe borax would work. Yes. So, and also on Leslie Roberts' website, Coaching Outdoors, she shared a video, or her team shared a
Hmm.
video by Raymond Tang. It was a TED Talk. And I'll share
Great
that
video.
also on Instagram and on Facebook on our sites, because I think it's an incredible video. It was how he discovered, a way to improve his life through the philosophy of water. And I love that. And I just feel like, if we can incorporate, just those three very simple tenets, and teachings in our lives, and surround ourselves with nature whenever we can. I know some of us can't always, we have to make a concerted effort if we don't live close to it. But, I'm
Sure.
not as close to the beaches. I would love to live on the beach, but I don't. I'm about 11 minutes away. But it's, making a concerted effort to get to the beach or the ocean,
So
get
far
to the
away
mountain.
from nature. I should be
Right.
taking this as a step because I live in the downtown core. It's concrete jungle, you
Because
know.
you're in a condo, right? A building. So yes, and I just think that, when you can connect with nature, you're going to feel more peace and happiness. And even if it's just for a few minutes, get outside, get in the sunshine. Right? Sunshine is nature. Breathe some fresh air, and take a walk, and try to get to a park if you're in a city, and just be around nature, and reconnect. Right? It's called.
Yeah.
There's a thing called earthing, and you can,
Oh, are
either
you
put your
kidding
feet
me?
in the sand, or put
Yeah.
your feet in grass
Me,
and
Christy,
the
me and
dirt.
you are so much in. I mean, you're blowing my mind because I want to just tell you something. The way that I started getting into this spirituality, I don't know, personal development, whatever you call it, right? Was like I read this. I was like, I need to test this. I'm like, I need to know. You know, you're growing up. You're like, oh, being an atheist is cool. Nothing is. Anyway, so it's like, but then I read this book called ES squared,
Okay.
or yeah, it's called E squared, and it's like
He's
9 experiments that prove that like the woo woo world is correct. I'm sorry, I'm screwing this up. I don't know the name of the author, but it's called E squared, and like 9 experiments that you can make to show that like the things me and you were talking about is as real can get. Like, yeah, you mean
real.
closing your eyes and then things appearing and manifesting? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I remember being like, stressed out. I like moved out of my parents' place. I'm like living on my own in some stupid room in like a place outside of Toronto. And I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. And then I'm just trying to like connect, trying to line or trying to whatever. And I hear about, they give this piece of advice from this book, and walk into a park. And if you walk into a forest, nature, the energy of nature, was Bob Proctor. That's who said that, who I love. God rest in peace. Passed away this year. Bob Proctor, the legend of personal development, legend.
Okay. I'm gonna
And
write.
he said that when you walk through nature, um, nature is in perfect balance.
Mhm.
And if you're not in perfect balance, which would make sense because you're in front of a laptop trying to, like, all this stuff,
Right.
and then you walk through a park and you just connect with all the nature. And I walked through that park and I felt like I just exchanged this energy with these plants. And that's because when you feel it,
Mhm.
that's when you start wearing the bracelets. That's when you start realizing, like, wait a minute, everything is energy, everything is flow. So I just love that example, and I'm going to explore a lot more because I'm personally taking this as an initiative to go outside, go in nature, and
Yeah.
connect because you want to align, you want to get clarity, you want to make the right decisions. Go to where water is most abundant in nature,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. So that'll be my accountability challenge to you that for you this week, um, is for you and to get out in nature and find some place to connect. And I'll do the same. It'll be our accountability challenge to each other. Okay.
I love that.
And
Let me.
the beach or someplace, one of the
I need to wrap
parks.
up the salad. We've done it. We're at 30 minutes. Thank you,
Yes.
thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for staying a little later. But this is going to be worth it.
Yes.
Okay, so now
Look how
this
beautiful it is.
look how beautiful. Now, just full disclosure, there's still things that need to be cut and peeled. It's one of those, this is really a family salad,
Right.
in a sense of everybody gets to work and prep a little bit. I've done each one of these parts growing up, and I never
Okay.
realized how simple it is to do it on your own. So here's the last parts, folks. Okay, you have the salad, you have the beautiful colors. So then you
Beautiful.
get, you already know we're gonna bring up the sunflower oil.
Right.
You already
Right.
know we're gonna go with Unico. Working on getting a sponsorship from them.
That would be nice.
Pop it out. We pour that in there generously,
Generous.
generously.
I love
Okay.
it.
And then we have some salt, so you're gonna grab a little jar of salt because if your salt's not in a mason jar, I don't even know what you're doing. We ran out of
See, I
salt, so
do that, right?
you did?
No, I
Okay.
need to. Mine are in the Peugeot salt and pepper shakers. And then I have the Trader Joe's Himalayan sea salt that has its own little grinder on the top. So I need to do
I
that.
something about mason jars. Have you ever had like a cocktail or a drink on a Sunday
Oh
afternoon
yeah.
in a mason
Oh
jar?
yeah.
I just love mason jars.
You
And then
use
you just
for
you
everything.
mix
Yeah.
you mix you
And
mix
that's
and you forget whatever the potato salad is.
it. Okay.
And look at, I mean, just think about this when you're eating it, right?
Wow.
You're crunching the potatoes and the beets with the crunchiness of the pickle and
Uh,
the cucumber. It's a very kind of Russian, Ukrainian, Eastern European,
okay.
heavy in the cucumber, heavy in the pickles, heavy on it's just and the stuff. Christy, I'm telling you right now, this is Flavor City. Flavor
Right.
City right
So
here.
did
Yeah.
you add the potatoes or you're going to add the potatoes
I,
after?
I already added the potatoes. I added two
Oh,
potatoes,
great.
but I have
Yeah,
three
great.
more,
Okay. Okay, got
right?
it. So you're gonna make
So
more. Okay.
yeah, it's
Wow.
really potatoes and
That's
beets all in
beautiful.
one,
Uh-huh.
and it's wonderful, and it's a great way to get beets in your body.
Yeah. They're so good for you, iron and all sorts of minerals and yeah, beets are incredible. Yeah. I
Beets are
can't wait. I'm
incredible.
gonna try that this weekend because guess what we have in our garden?
What do you have in your
We
garden?
a few beets. I bought a few little plants, yes, and two of them were white, but there are a couple that are red. So I'm going to try that this weekend. I'll go get some
Gotcha.
potatoes. I have some carrots, I have some Vidalia onions, and I have a ton of pickles. And I have to get the sunflower oil because I don't have that. I only have olive oil on hand. So
That's key with that sunflower oil. I don't know what's going on there. Like
what's
people
the
put
brand
mayonnaise
again?
in there, like, huh?
Huh? What's the brand of the sunflower oil
It's
again?
you. It's Unico. It's Unico.
You
It's the one product because I don't get what Spain is doing right now globally. I don't understand what Spain's doing, but they make this
okay?
company. This
Make
to
that.
me is
Okay.
is the empire of Spain. So I love
Excellent.
my tuna from Unico. I'm pretty sure anyway. But also just one last note before we leave because I wouldn't be myself. I didn't say it. How do you get pickles? You
Uh-huh.
get some pickles. You pickle them on your own. Vinegar,
Oh,
water, salt. Stop buying pickles that can last on the shelf for 5 years. That's not a pickle.
okay.
It's not food. You know it. I know it.
Right, right.
It's
And
it's
you
like the
just leave
simplest
it
thing you can do.
and you just leave it in the refrigerator.
You don't have to leave it in the refrigerator. The thing is, it's like making granola. You can't screw this up. It's water, vinegar, it's brine. You make a brine, you put cabbage, onions, pickles, cucumbers. I mean, garlic. When the summer stops, you don't want to be eating, eggplants in December and January because there's no eggplants in the local area. So it's probably,
Right.
that's why
Exactly.
we pickle a lot in my family.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
Okay.
Well, you might have to share that recipe with us one day so that we can
Okay.
share it on our Instagram. Okay. The
We will.
pickling recipe.
Thank you for staying
Yeah.
longer than usual. And
Ooh,
Patience is a
Oh, so
virtue, and
happy. Thank you for sharing this beautiful Russian vinaigrette salad with beets and carrots and potatoes, onions, cucumbers, pickles, right? Everything's sunflower oil.
mm,
And I'm going to try that this weekend. And I will post as soon as we get our video uploaded, I'll post it to Facebook and our Instagram pages. I will post the recipe for this. So, Jerry, I might have to get with you with some of the details. I will post the Coaching Outdoors link for the philosophy of water from Leslie Roberts, and
yes.
also the TED Talk from Raymond Tang, which everyone should watch. It's incredible, and with the three tenets of with the philosophy of water. So
Hmm.
we hope you will live your best life today and every single day. And I thank you,
Yeah.
Jerry, for being my partner in all of this because you're just
Whew.
amazing. Your spirit, your energy, your everything is just,
We're
enriching my
flowing.
life. We're
We're
flowing.
vibing. We're flowing. We're two molecules flowing down the
Yes.
river, and I have to figure out how to stop the recording with these buttons. So we're gonna slowly say goodbye to everybody as I try to
Okay.
put sacrifice the mouse and not make it all purple. Have yourself an
And
amazing day, and everybody, and see you next Friday. Yeah.
yeah, live your best life today. Take
Live
care.
your best
Bye
life.
bye.
Bye bye.